am woke now, and I can prove it. Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them.
Ricky Gervais recently took down Keir Starmer in an unforgettable live TV moment. Gervais didn't hold back, ripping into Starmer's handling of immigration issues so fiercely that even members of Starmer's own party were laughing. Gervais joked, "Well, I'm woke now, and I can prove it. I love illegal immigrants, sue me now." He continued, mocking the situation with, "I go down to Dover, look out, and I see a dinghy with about 60 people. I pull them in and say, 'Women and children first.' They reply, 'There are no women, just you lads.' The humor may have been sharp, but it struck a nerve." Gervais's joke reflected the frustration felt by millions in the UK. People who feel let down by politicians who promise action but fail to deliver. This isn't just a fringe issue. Even within the Labour Party, members representing constituencies that flipped to the Conservatives in 2019 are pushing Starmer for stronger action on immigration. They're calling for clear messaging and decisive leadership. The British public is demanding secure borders and a reduction in net migration. If Labour doesn't act quickly on immigration, many fear the country could face serious problems.
I want to ban leaf blowers. Why have they got leaf blowers?
That is him.
What are they doing? They're blowing leaves into the street. Well, they're going to blow back.
The last episode, he spoke about leaf blowers for about half an hour.
Honestly, I want to go to the council. Can we ban leaf blowers? It's bad for the environment. It's noisy. It's pointless. Do you know what I think? I think that gardener's doing it. That he can hear them. He's working,
right? Yeah,
because they're not doing anything. They're doing it with there's like one leaf getting it into the.
No, the bit that annoys me, one does it and he blows the leaves down there, and then the other guy's gardener blows them back to where they were. They just keep doing it every day. They put on the leaves.
What's up with the rake?
Yeah,
putting it in a bag.
Proper grafting.
I know.
They get lazy.
If they're going to do it, get a vacuum. Vacuum it up. So you don't have to. Yeah.
A group of around 35 Labour MPs, known as the Red Wall Caucus, is putting pressure on Starmer to lay out a firm plan. They want immigration reduced, borders secured, and human trafficking criminal gangs dismantled. These MPs know their constituents are watching closely, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As Starmer's polished image begins to crack, Gervais's jokes reveal deeper truths about the man who wants to lead the UK. Starmer, a former lawyer, has drawn criticism for representing some controversial clients in the past. He defends his actions by citing the cab rank rule, the idea that lawyers must take on cases, regardless of their personal opinion. But many aren't buying it. Critics, like GB News' Ricky Gervais, argue that Starmer uses the rule as an excuse for defending some of the world's worst offenders. Gervais even spoke to another lawyer who clarified that the rule doesn't work quite the way Starmer claims. The real problem? Starmer doesn't seem to practice what he preaches. While he's now trying to appear tough on crime and immigration, his past as a lawyer tells a different story. That's why many are calling him a hypocrite. Some even suspect that Starmer's just saying
Jennifer Lawrence made the news when she demanded equal pay for women in Hollywood, and she received, overwhelming support from people everywhere. There were marches on the street with nurses and factory workers saying, how the hell can a 25-year-old live on 52 million? There were plumbers around the world going, poor girl in town, what's fucking hell? So, but joking aside, of course women should be paid the same as men for doing the same job. And I'd like to say now that I'm getting paid exactly the same as Tina and Amy did last year for hosting it. No, I know there was two of them, but it's not my fault if they want to share the money, is it? That's their stupid fault. It's funny because it's true. The Hollywood Foreign Press deemed The Martian a comedy and even nominated it. And hence, Matt Damon is here tonight, so that worked a treat, didn't it? To be fair, The Martian was a lot funnier than Pixels. But then again, so was Schindler's List. It's just a film. All female remakes are the big thing. There's a female remake of Ghostbusters. There's going to be a female remake of Ocean's 11. And this is brilliant for the studios because they get guaranteed box office results and they don't have to spend too much money on the cast. So... Shut up, I don't care. Listen, if you do win tonight, remember that no one cares about that award as much as you do, okay? Don't get emotional, it's embarrassing, okay? That award is, no offence, worthless. It's a bit of metal that some nice old confused journalists wanted to give you in person.
Votes, with no real commitment to his promises. Keir Starmer seems to be out of touch with reality. While some on the left have called his leadership drifty and dysfunctional, Starmer insists he has no regrets. It's as though he's living in his own bubble, completely unaware of the growing discontent. Ricky Gervais's jokes hit on this. Starmer isn't as honest as he claims to be. He's just another politician willing to say whatever it takes to gain power. And now that he's in charge, he can't keep his story straight. With Labour's struggles growing, the big question is, how long can Starmer keep this up before it all unravels? One of his biggest promises, I will not raise taxes, could be what brings him down. As Labour rolls out its plans, there's a looming question. How long before this promise breaks under the weight of reality? Remember when Starmer campaigned on a better economy without raising taxes? It sounded great, didn't it? But now, it's starting to feel like just another empty promise. Labour has already raised national insurance by £25 billion, a move that's angering business leaders who warn it could result in fewer jobs and slower economic growth. It's like...
So they could meet you and have a selfie with you. Okay? That's all it is. I've got three Golden Globes myself, so I can say, one's a doorstop, one I used to hit burglars with, and one I keep by the bed to, doesn't matter why, it's mine. It's mine. I won it fair and square. It's just the right shape and size. It's nothing... Yeah, so to be clear, that was a joke about me shoving Golden Globes that I've won up my arse. And they asked me to host 4 times! You Jesus! Let's do the show, shall we? On a serious note, the Golden Globes are about excellence. To win one, you have to do something amazing. Neither of our first 2 presenters have won a Golden Globe. I don't know what they're doing here, really, but I don't choose the guests. Please welcome the fantastic Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Welcome back. The Golden Globes doesn't have an in memoriam section to get you all depressed. Instead, we let the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press say a few words. Please welcome Lorenzo Soria. Our next presenter is the star of the hilarious comedy The Martian. Oh, he nearly died. Right. He's also the only person who Ben Affleck hasn't been unfaithful to. Please welcome Matt Damon. Eva Longoria and America Ferrera aren't just beautiful, talented actresses. They're also 2 people who your future president, Donald Trump, can't wait to deport. Please welcome Eva Longoria and America Ferrera. Joy and Trainwreck. No, not the names of Charlie Sheen's 2 favourite hookers. The films of our next 2 presenters. They're best friends, by the way. They wanted me to tell you that. And if you forget, they said they'd tweet you and remind. Basically, they come round and shout it through. They're best friends. It's like they've never had a friend before. Please welcome Amy Schumer and Jennifer Lawrence. Oh. This show is way too long, isn't it? It's way too... This could be half an hour. This one was in the writer's strike when they just read the winners and just... Okay. Let's get through it. Right. Unbelievable. Some people still think this award means something. The winners. Just listen to me. Listen. It doesn't just... Right. When Brad and Angelina see our next two adorable little presenters, they're going to want to adopt them.
By drilling more holes in it. At the same time, Starmer's own Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, is warning of a £22 billion gap in the finances. People are beginning to question whether Labour can manage the economy without breaking Starmer's promise. Experts aren't optimistic. As Paul Emerson from the Institute for Fiscal Studies pointed out, the Chancellor doesn't have much flexibility left. Starmer is now caught between the risk of breaking his promise or watching the economy continue to struggle. The result? Starmer's approval rating is slipping. Voters thought they were getting an honest leader who would keep his word, but instead, they're seeing more of the same political games. It's starting to feel a bit like the 1992 election when George H.W. Bush promised, "Read my lips, no new taxes," and then raised taxes, ultimately losing the election. History may be repeating itself with Starmer. So how close is Starmer to breaking his promise? Very close. That national insurance increase may not technically be a tax, but businesses still have to pay it. And with that gaping hole in the finances, it's hard to see how Starmer can avoid raising taxes later on. As things get tougher...
I started doing karate when I was about 25, 26, right?
Oh, yes.
And they said, you've got to go along and get a box, right, for, in case you get kicked, right? And I went along and I went to Lily White's, I don't know if it's still there, and I got a cricket box, right? And I went along, I got that, I bought that. I said, oh, it's really tight, right? And I went back, right, to take it back. And I was in a queue, and I got to the front of the queue, and I said to the guy, I said, I'm not being funny, but this box is too small for me, right? And he went, yeah, it's a child's.